Guess who's Bazak? It's your boy. Welcome to episode 2 of the Pencil Break Podcast with your boy, Obi Arasukwu. To my left is my stuffed doll, Raph. Before he was on my right side. However, we had a conversation. He didn't like being over here. He wasn't getting enough shine. So he wanted to be to my left. I thought he was joking, and then he popped me in the eye, and I realized who wore the pants in this relationship. So yeah, Ralph, he's going to be back here for now on. Also, I do have my Martin t-shirt. If you've seen my artwork on social media or on my website, you have seen this design. I'm about to start my exclusive merch. This is just a prototype to kind of see, what the size is going to look like. When I actually do drop this exclusive merch, it's going to be very limited, very exclusive. I want to make sure that the quality is phenomenal. That's why it's taken me so long to get this done. I want it to be when you put this shirt on, your nipples, they get stiff. Your areolas get aroused by the quality of the shirt just rubbing up against them. All right. Now let's get into the show. This show, I held off on doing this one because I was waiting for something to happen, and it did happen, and it was amazing what happened. I got a shopping agreement for my animated series. This is bringing me one step closer to the goal of me actually having my own cartoon. If you don't know what a shopping agreement is, a shopping agreement is a contract that a studio gives you that gives them the exclusive rights to shop your project around for another company, studio, media outlet, streaming service to pick up and create, right? So it's pretty difficult getting these things done. You have to go through a lot of iterations. What makes this so special is because, first of all, when creating a shopping agreement, before I get a shopping agreement, what I had to do, I had to create a pitch deck, which is a mini book, like a guideline to what your show is about. It talks about the synopsis of the show, the characters, what the characters look like, the actual artwork of the characters, locations like what their home would look like if they go to the restaurant, if they're at the work office. What else? Oh yeah, episode guidelines, like what are the first episodes going to look like, things like that. So it's like a little guideline to your show. Then I also had to create a pilot script. That's why this is so special, right? I create cartoons, comic strips. I make jokes in slide frames. The fact that I had to write a pilot script and sell it, something that I don't do, and it turned out being great, it amazed me. Like, it literally showed that I have another skill set that I didn't know I had. Now, this isn't the first time I've ever written a pilot script. A few years ago, I wrote a pilot script for a live action show, and I got my friends to try to read it, my family to try to read it. Nobody's giving me feedback. I didn't realize that because it was trash, it was garbage. This pilot script sucked. So for me to have to do it again, I realized I had to do a lot of research, right? I had to research my favorite TV shows. I had to read a lot of books, had to do a lot of studying. I had to read a lot of other scripts to see, how do things work? Me being in Texas as well, it's very hard to have those connections for people who know how to write scripts and do those kind of things. This isn't, well, in Texas, especially in Houston, it's not an entertainment city. So it's hard to get assistance like that. Luckily, though, I did have a friend who lives in LA, great writer named Mallory Howard, and also some other friends of mine who actually, looked at this script, including like Lincoln, Randy, stuff like that. But they actually looked at these scripts and they actually give me feedback. Like Lincoln, you were a big help on this, so I appreciate it too. But giving me feedback on how I can best improve it. The thing is that when I first wrote the script, it took me about 3 weeks to write. It took a complete year for it to actually be great enough for a studio to want to pick it up, right? And I know because I shopped it around to other studios and I got similar feedback from all of it. It wasn't until I started adjusting it and taking the feedback from those people and people who are experienced to be like, okay, you probably want to do this, you want to do that, right? But it was just awesome, the fact that I was able to create something like this. Now, with the shopping agreement, now that I would say I have it. It doesn't mean that the show is now about to, get created. The thing about it is that I'm still very far away from achieving that, right? So another element to the shopping agreement, I created the brand, I created the pitch guide, I created the pitch deck, I created the pilot script. However, I'm a nobody out here, straight up, right? My social media may be popping. The comic strips and stuff I may have are funny, whatever it is. However, I am not known out here. And I realized that when they said, if we are going to sell this, then we have to put a big name talent to it. By the way, I can't tell you what the project is. In the entertainment industry, I've learned that a lot of things are secretive. A lot of people like to keep things close to the vest, our chest, our hips. I don't remember how that phrase goes. But anyway, I'm not going to risk my show to give you all this exclusive information. Now, when the show gets picked up, because it will get picked up, I'm speaking into existence, I will give you more information about it. But until then, don't tell nobody. I don't do impressions very well, so forgive me. Anyway, so because I'm not a big name talent, they have to attach a big name to the project in order for it to have a higher success at selling. That means if they have to find a big name producer, showrunner, writer, or actor or actress to be a part of this project. And then they can take it, they package it all together, and then they send it out to these different, media companies and studios in order to see if they're interested in buying it. And also, I don't know how long it can take. First of all, a shopping agreement can be anywhere from 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, whatever you all agree on. However, that does not mean that it's going to take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months for one, someone to want to attach themselves to the project, and two, for the project to sell. So I have to be very patient. If you're in this industry and you're trying to get something accomplished, you have to be patient. Things do not happen overnight. Again, that's the whole thing going on with social media with this instant gratification that people think that things happen like this. It doesn't. It takes a long time. There's a lot of things that we don't see, a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't know about, and a lot of things that actually, I would say, have to come together in order for you to get your break. Chelsea, is there anything else I want to talk about on that subject? Anything else I need to give? Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Yep. So what's next? What's next is that I continue doing what I'm doing. I continue creating my comic strips. I continue creating my personal art, continue creating art for my clients and other projects that I'm working on. I just have to keep going. I can't just sit here and just wait and be like, all right, let me get this phone call, or let me get this email. And then I also have a bunch of other projects I want to create, other cartoons, other live action series, comic books. I have so many things I want to do. The fact that I just have to keep grinding and keep pushing out, because let's say this animated series did not get picked up. It will though, but let's just say it doesn't. Then what else do I have to fall back on? I have to keep showing that I have all this content. I can't be a one-trick pony. Okay? So that's on that. I like to keep these podcasts short. Oh, this is good timing. Hey, all right, let's go. Okay, so something that I wanted to do something that I brought up on my last podcast that I wanted to do. I want to do Q&As, right? And so I had a couple of people actually send me questions. So I appreciate it because you listened. And when you listen, you get a cookie. Okay? So first question from this Q&A. We're going to go with Okay, this one comes from Angela Coker. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. I apologize if I butchered it. My name is very difficult as well, so I feel your pain. And I think it's Angela Coker. Yeah, I think I just can't read. Anyway, she writes, "Hi." It's my girl voice. "Hi, could you answer this question in the next podcast episode? What's the gear you use to record your podcast? Your microphone setup is really great and audio quality is what I'm aiming for. I did a good job on that one. All right. So when me creating this podcast, the stuff that I'm using, first of all, I appreciate it because to me, this is very ghetto rigged. The microphone I'm using is a Blue Yeti, costs about like $120. I chose this because it's very inexpensive compared to the other microphones. However, this is not your ideal mic when it comes to doing podcasts because this picks up sounds from everywhere. Like you can hear the refrigerator, you can hear the people doing construction across the street. It feels like a gang of Bob's Builders are just having a field day outside. And then also you want to have your pop filter. Always get your pop filter. It's like $20. You want a microphone stand that's strong enough to hold this mic or any kind of other mics. That's going to cost you about $35. And then I use a Sony Alpha 6000 with like a 1.8 millimeter lens. I don't know anything about like those high-tech cameras because literally I would just use my iPhone to do everything. However, I want to use my iPhone to like look at questions or maybe information and stuff that I actually want to like, I don't know, like I said, look at. Now, I don't know how to use these high-tech cameras. Like I said, luckily, my boy Greg Noir was in town. He came through and he like fixed it. I don't know what the hell he did. He was just like a Rubik's Cube, like pursuit of happiness, right? And he just made the lens and the video quality like super icy, right? Greg Noir, photo god. I appreciate it, brother. And then I use Adobe Audition to clean up my audio. I do a lot of cleaning up because this microphone picks up so much sound. I do a lot of cleaning up and then I just mash the footage and the audio together and then use Adobe Premiere to edit that as well. Me being a graphic designer, having a graphic designer experience, especially my degree in graphic design, has really, really helped me do things that I don't have to hire other people to do. However, the work is very, very extensive. It is a lot that goes into it, and it does take a lot of time to get these things right. All right, let's get one more question in. This question comes from Art Tech Savvy. See, that was easier. All right, this is a guy. So, yo, bro, what advice would you? No, I'm joking. All right, goes. Art Tech Savvy says, what advice would you have for someone who wants to get back into drawing? I was heavy into it before I joined the military in 2010. Thank you for your service, sir. But being in the service put a dim light on that. I can't read. Jesus. All right. But being in the service put a dim on that light. I'll be finishing my degree in a couple of months and out of the military in a few months following. I want to get back into my passion and want to get some advice from someone who's clearly talented and has a passion for what they're doing. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, sir. I would definitely say what got me back into doing art is Instagram, social media. Like I started seeing all these incredible artists that drop their work and it really inspired me to want to actually go back and continue drawing and getting on their level. So I would say definitely if you can find some kind of inspiration that can, that makes you, puts that burning desire into you to create this stuff, then do it. Also, for me, it's where what can I say? It's like golf, right? Golf, people say golf is so addictive because it's the hardest sport to master. When it comes to art, I'm continually trying to master my craft. I'm always trying to get better. So that's fun for me, trying to see myself get better over and over and over. Just continue to draw as much as I can. I don't care if it's 2 minutes per day, if it's 3 hours per day, just continuing to draw and create content to see how good I can get. I do a lot of studying. I do a lot of research. I go to YouTube. I go to Pinterest, social media, Instagram, Twitter, DeviantArt. It's so much stuff out there that can help you get better, right? I even have this here, right? I subscribe to this magazine called Character Design Quarterly. And what this is a magazine filled with other work and advice and tips and tricks from other illustrators from around the globe. Look how dope this is, right? I learned so much from this. I got so much insight, so many tips and tricks, things that really have already elevated my artwork. So this kind of things you want to do. You want to continually just research and grind and continue to do what you got to do, right? Don't give up. It's like working out. You may say, okay, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing it, but you just have to push through it. And the more you work out, the stronger you get, or the better your endurance is. The same thing with art. You have to keep going. You have to keep doing it, okay? Now, that is the end of the Q&A session, which also means this is the end of the podcast, right? So, Raph, we about to sign out. You have anything you want to say? Okay, Ralph says, subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget to tell your family. Okay, and tell your friends. Or I will murder you in your sleep. Ralph, don't be like that, sir. You won't really murder them in their sleep, would you? Peace out.